SimLicy here, so welcome to another part of my Renovating EA series, and this time I am renovating Vista Quarry, which is this really cute house here in Oasis Springs in the mid-century modern neighborhood, and I actually really like this house, so I didn't want to change too much about it. Especially the exterior I think is really cute, so if you're looking for an EA made house so you don't have to change too much, I would say this one, because really the only problem I have with this house is the interior. I think it's a bit dark and the layout's a bit weird, but other than that I think it's a super cute house. I especially like the sand in the back, which I think is kind of weird probably to have like a sand pit just like right in your backyard, but I like the shape of it. I think it's kind of cool, so I wanted to leave that. And I also wanted to move the bedrooms over to the same side of the house because it originally had a bedroom for like a child and then an office right next to each other, and then the master bedroom was on the other side of the house over by the only bathroom, and then this tiny little nook of a kitchen. So I thought that was a bit weird, so I really just wanted to open up the house and make the bedrooms over in the same area with a bathroom. So I did have to expand the house a little bit to make the bedrooms big enough to be able to put a bathroom in between them. And then over on the other side of the house I have an office, and then made the kitchen and dining area kind of open with a skylight above it. That was pretty exciting. Anytime I can fit a skylight into a build, I am very happy to be able to do that, which I am making right now, and I think it looks so nice. It brings so much light into the inside of the house, and it just, oh, it's just so pretty. It makes me so happy. So hopefully you guys will like that, and hopefully you guys do like this renovation, but definitely let me know what you guys think. I did add lots of windows. I redid the landscaping, except for the sand, of course, because I did like that. And I thought the back patio area was a bit strange how it, I mean, it's okay, but it's a little bit weird how it has that one piece that kind of jets off of it. I don't know, so I decided to remove that and did some plants there instead because I still wanted to kind of close in the sand area because it would look a little bit weird without it. So I did add some landscaping there, which I think looks really nice, and yeah, I'm really happy with the way this build turned out. I think it looks really pretty, and also a special thank you to Chrissy York for suggesting this house to me, because I did go over on Twitter and asked which build I should do in the next renovation anyways, and I asked people to pick kind of smaller, medium-sized houses, and she gave me some really great recommendations for houses in Oasis Springs. So you guys should definitely check her out. She is a little bit newer to YouTube, but she's been in the Sims community for a while, so I'll definitely link her in the description so you guys can check her out if you're interested. But yeah, I was pretty excited to renovate a home in Oasis Springs because so far on my EA renovations, I don't think I've done one in Oasis Springs yet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have it. So I am very excited to do more of them. A lot of people have suggested Johnny Zest trailer, which I've tried renovating before. So I need to get back into it because I think that could be such a fun build. And I love that it's a trailer. I'm thinking about adding another trailer in that part of Oasis Springs. So let me know what you guys think about that, because I think we need more than just one trailer in the game. At least I think so. But anyways, as you can see, I am already switching up the landscaping and adding these couches to the front porch. I thought looked so nice, and it kind of spurred this whole green theme for the entire build. Now, I didn't realize this till I went to go take the before screenshots, and when I went to go take those, I was like, oh, there's already a green theme in this house. So it was kind of cool that I continued it, but I was gonna try to be a little bit more brave, I guess, with the green colors, so I try to go a little bit brighter, but I end up toning it down. I'm just super, I guess, unconfident when it comes to using really bright color schemes. I mean, it's still pretty bright. The interior has a lot of green and it's really bright, but I don't know. You'll see it all come together. But anyways, I wanted to mention I do switch up the siding right here, but when I went to go take the screenshots, I didn't like it, so I switch it back to being all blue. And I also go back to the chunky roof trim, because I do switch that up here in a little bit to make it the smaller roof trim, because that's normally what I go with. But after looking at it once it was all finished, I decided that I thought it looked better with the chunkier roof. I feel like it looks a little bit more cartoony that way, but I think it suits Oasis Springs a little bit better. So I do go back to that, and I guess the siding I felt was a little bit too distracting because there was so many other details on this build that I felt like the siding just took away from the build. So I do switch that back in the end, but of course you can make this house whatever color you would like it to be. And I also get rid of this fence in the front, basically for the same reason. I felt like it was distracting. And I really wanted to add a pool back here, but I felt like there wasn't a really great place to put it since I did want to leave the sand, and I really didn't want to change the shape of the sand at all. So we went without a pool, but I do add a kiddie pool in the back here, which I think is pretty cute as well. And it suits Oasis Springs. At least they have somewhere to cool down, because I imagine the summers here are really warm. And just continuing the landscaping back here, and then I also add a swing set and a couple of planter boxes, and it takes me forever to figure out where this the swing set should go. I don't know, I think the whole like the sand area was kind of throwing me off. I wanted it to look good, but I think in the end it looks really nice, especially from like a bird's eye view. It kind of has a cool design to it, especially the way I put the planter boxes. So I don't know, you guys can let me know what you think about that. But right here I do add the wrong sand, so I had no idea. I don't know how I didn't notice it when I placed it. I guess I wasn't paying attention, but when I went to go take the screenshots again, that was another thing that I changed. So don't worry, everything should be fine when I upload it to the gallery. The sand is the right color. So I was like, oh my god, how did I not notice that? I even took all the screenshots without noticing, and then I went to go put them in my video editor, and then I noticed it right away, and I was like, oh my god, that looks so ridiculous. So I changed it, so no worries there. And I had a lot of fun using those trees, by the way, the cool ones with like the bulbs on them. I don't know exactly what you call them, but they're really neat trees, and I think they especially look really nice in these mid-century modern home styles. Now this house isn't necessarily mid-century modern on the interior. I think exterior wise it is, but on the interior I wasn't trying to make it look mid-century modern. It may be a little bit, but I was kind of going for a funky style. But the backyard has pretty much came together, and I really like the design of it, so hopefully you guys agree. And I also end up adding another seating area here in the back that matches the front, so I use those couches again because I think they are so nice. They did come with seasons, and they're just like some of my favorites ever, so I was so happy to use those. But another thing I wanted to mention was the family for this build, because since I am rebuilding the worlds and creating a save file, this is one of those builds that's going to go into it because all of my EA renovations are going into that save file. Some of them already have townies in it, and this is one that doesn't have any pre-made Sims into it, so I get to come up with characters to live into this home. And I was thinking when I first started renovating this house that I have the perfect family to live in this house, so I'm so excited about it. A while ago I created this family, I guess for townies. I don't really remember why I created them, but they are a couple with twins. They have two twin toddlers, that is a boy and a girl, and the couple, they're kind of like a gamer couple. They're a geeky couple. The mom's a geek anyways, and then the dad is a genius, and I kind of imagine that they're both really into video games and programming, and they're a young couple, they're young adults, and then they have a couple of twins, and so I imagine that they would be perfect for this house. So I did design this house with them in mind. So I add a couple of like programming magazines and video game magazines laying around, and I tried to add kind of things like that I think they would have fun in this home. So I'm really excited to introduce them to you guys. But anyways, we are on to the interior now, and these couches were the original green I was going to try to go for, but it's just so lime green, and I'm just not really that confident in using really bright colors, so I end up going with the one swatch that is gray with the green accent cushions. Now I mentioned how I wanted to use those in my rustic garden home build, and the green didn't work in that house, but I think they work perfectly in this home, and I think it ends up coming together really nicely. And I was just really indecisive about this build. I changed my mind so much, especially with the interior wallpapers, and I also end up changing the flooring later on, because right now I have this light cream wood color, and I don't know, I felt like everything just looked a bit bland, so I switched up the floors to be a darker color later on, and I think the contrast really helped the build, and I really like the results. So hopefully you guys will agree, but I have changed the couches now, so I think this is a better version. I still have the green, but it's not as overtly lime green like the sofas on the exterior. But so I decided I wanted to go with this square coffee table just because it fit the area really nice, but I wanted to put a magazine on the coffee table because I've been doing that a lot lately, and this yoga fitness magazine works perfectly. It doesn't change at all, but when I go into the other books that are kind of, they're thinner like a magazine, they actually change to their display form on this coffee table, because this coffee table is actually a display table that came with Get to Work. You can find it in the miscellaneous surface category, and yeah, I was like, what is wrong with these things? See, they keep popping up as their like display form, so I do have to switch out the coffee table for a different one, but I think it still looks fine. I really want like smaller square and round coffee tables, just because when we have like smaller living rooms like this, I feel like they fit much better, but this one works just fine, and yeah, I think it looks okay. And then we also got a video game console in there. I do switch it back to the white color because I felt like that lime green didn't match the rest of the greens. But this little like ottoman side table thing works perfectly. It has the same green color, and I think this one came with kids room, so I was pretty happy about that. But here I am switching up the wallpapers, and I do switch them up again later on. It takes me ages, but I think it all works out really nicely in the end. And I was also able to add a laundry room, which I was really happy about because it is technically another bathroom since there is a toilet and sink in there, so that's always good. And if you didn't want to do laundry, you could add a shower in there, then you have 2 full bathrooms, which is even better because it's never too many bathrooms in The Sims. But I also thought that they would have a cat, so you will notice there's some cat items in this house. Now, I did forget to add a litter box until the end of the video, so you won't see it on camera, but in the screenshots there is one on the back deck. But I don't know if that's the best spot for it, and I just realized that I could probably have stacked up the washer and dryer and added the litter box in that bathroom, but it's not that big of a deal. But right now I am decorating the entryway to the house, which I am so happy that I was able to include because I felt like the original floor plan was a bit weird because when you walked through the front door, you immediately hit like this random wall in the middle of the room, and then there was open on either side. So instead of having it like that, I decided to add an entryway and then a bathroom right next to it, and I felt like that just worked a lot better for the space. So hopefully you guys agree. But this is going to be the bathroom laundry room area, so there's a toilet and sink and then a washer and dryer on the other side. And I was really trying to pick out a tile that matched, but I didn't think any really fit with this retro flooring. Now this flooring did come with the bowling stuff pack, but if you don't have the bowling stuff pack, don't worry, it's not really required for this build. I didn't really use it that much. I think just for this flooring in the kitchens or the kitchen and the bathrooms. So I think that looks pretty nice. And then I put some cabinets above the washer and dryer, and I do actually switch them out for these shelves, but I don't know, I just couldn't go with the laundry day shelves just because they didn't quite match the build. They're a little bit too country and rustic looking, I think, for the whole design. So I do go back to the cabinets later on, and I actually visit this bathroom a couple times just so I was kind of indecisive about it, but I think it all comes together in the end. And then right here I do add a china cabinet, but I move it over to the dining room later on and then put the cat tree right there because I thought since they have a cat in this house, they should probably have a place for the cat to kind of like hang out. But this is going to be the dining table. Now these chairs are from the bowling stuff pack, and they are like the perfect green, but I don't know, I felt like they were a bit much, so I decided to switch them out for some base game chairs later on that are in like a cream color, and then I make the rug underneath the table green, which I think was kind of a better decision. I felt like the chairs were a bit much, but I don't know, I think other people could probably make them work, but for me they just didn't look quite right. And at this point, I was gonna go with these all white cabinets, but I do switch them out later to be brown. Well, they're kind of a cream color, but the countertops are still white. I felt like them being all white looked a little bit too clinical and didn't blend in with the build. So I do switch those out later on. I also switched up the flooring, but I do go back to that retro flooring later on, and then switching out this cabinet to match the kitchen. So it's kind of a lot of back and forth. It actually took me quite a while to get this build all put together, and I really wasn't too sure about it. Even after like completing it, I thought about changing it because I finished the build and then I went to the gym, and as I was working out I was thinking, I'm like, you know what, I think I'm gonna go back and change the color scheme because I was like not even too sure about all this green, and I don't know really a lot about this build. But once I moved the Sims onto the lot and like got like a look around in it with them in there, I was like, you know what, I think it's perfect. I really like it. So yeah, I'm really happy that I didn't decide to change it because I wasn't too confident about it, but sometimes that happens. And then I went back in and I was like, you know what, I really like it. So, and now I'm decorating the kitchen area, just adding a little bit of clutter on the countertops. I got an ice cream machine, which I thought was a bit of fun, and it came in a green color. So yeah, I was pretty happy about that. Actually, a lot of the cool kitchen stuff comes in some pretty cool kind of funky green colors. So I was pretty happy to use that. And I didn't want to go overboard because I could have even made the rack for the dishes green, and I think the knife set maybe comes in a green color, but I decided not to. And then just cluttering up the corner over there behind the ice cream machine because I feel like it looks a little bit awkward, especially when you put appliances on the corner cabinets, because they kind of stick off the edge, so there's so much empty space behind them. So I feel like it always looks a little bit better when you add a bunch of decorations behind them. But now I'm trying to figure out a rug to put underneath the dining table, and I was really having kind of a hard time picking out ones that I thought looked good. But yeah, I think this was a better decision. This green isn't the perfect green to match with the rest of the greens in the house, but I feel like it still works, and I think it makes it look a little bit more cohesive, especially once I change the floors. So I don't know, hopefully you guys do like it, but you can always let me know what you guys think, of course. And this painting that I put above this side table was awesome. I thought that was so cool with the greens in it. But there I am adding the cat tree, and then I moved the china cabinet over into the dining room. So I was pretty happy about that because the dining room is probably a more appropriate place to have a china cabinet rather than in the living room. So yeah, thought that looked really nice. And then over here I just add a fishbowl and a picture, or some picture frames. And then I wasn't too sure what I should do along this wall, so I ended up going with some storage, which I think looks pretty nice and it's pretty realistic because in real life you can never have too much storage. So I felt like that looked okay, and this is going to be the home office. Now, the toddlers do share a bedroom at this point, so I imagine once they get older you would probably want them to have their own room. So later on you'd probably want to convert this into a bedroom, but I think it works really nicely for an office, and maybe you could probably add a second story to this house and then just add bedrooms up there. I don't know, I think there's probably possibilities, or you could probably add a basement too, which I'm not exactly sure you'd add the staircase, but I'm sure you guys could figure it out if you would like to. But for now, it's an office, and I think it looks really cool. And I had a chess table in here because the original house had a chess table, and especially for the couple that I had in mind, I think that they would enjoy having a chess table in their house. And they also have a magazine rack, which I thought was kind of nerdy and cool, so I was pretty happy to include that. And they have a really nice computer, and then a couple of chairs, and then some bookcases. And I also think I get a video gaming magazine up here on the desk, so I think the one that I put on the coffee table is a programming magazine, so they kind of have some kind of good reading laying around for those kinds of activities. So I thought that was kind of cool, and I've been adding those items a lot in my builds lately, and I've really been enjoying it. I think it adds a lot of character and a little bit extra decoration, so I was pretty happy about that. But at this point I am switching up some of the colors. I felt like it was lacking brown in the house, so I felt like the brown went really well with the greens. I think it just looks so much better, especially once I change the cabinets again to the ones that have the white countertops. I think that looks so much better. But I have changed the floors now, and then I changed the rug in the living room, and I think it all turns out really nice. I think I'm changing up the wallpaper again, but like I said, it was a process. I go with these light gray walls because they just go with everything, and I still really wanted to add tile in the bathroom, but none of it really worked, so that's okay. And I was still trying to use these shelves, but went with those cabinets in the end, and yeah, I just think it looks so much better, and it looks nice and cohesive, I think. And here I'm making the final changes to the cabinets, so they have the white countertops and the kind of lighter brown cabinet, so I think that looks so much better. I think it matches the rest of the build a little bit more than the ones I was trying to use, so I'm really happy with that change. But here I am over in the bedroom area, and then we go ahead and decorate the bathroom first. Now, I was gonna leave that part that I had jutting out for the shower, but it took up so much space of the toddler bedroom, so I decided to remove the window on the exterior and put the shower up against the wall like that. Now, this bathroom is a little bit crowded, and I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but I did play test it, and it does work just fine, so I was really happy about that, especially the placement of the toilet. I thought it was gonna block the shower or block something. It may block the hamper. I didn't play test the actual laundry, so that may be something you have to change, but I think you could just turn on move objects and just move it slightly either closer to the wall or maybe a little bit over in some direction. I don't know. I'm sure you guys can figure it out, but I am cluttering up the counter with little bits of like shampoos and toothbrushes and all those kinds of things, and then adding a few decorations in that little hallway that I created. And this is going to be the parents' bedroom, so the master bedroom, and they have this really fun bed. I'm not sure if I keep this swatch of it or if I switch it for a different green one. I can't quite remember, but I think this room is so much fun, and I think it really suits the couple that I had in mind for this build. And then I get a walk-in closet over on this wall, and then other than that, I wasn't too sure what I should add in this room because it is a little bit small, I think, for a master bedroom, but I do get like a chair and a plant and a side table. But it took me a little while to actually figure out what side table to use because all of the ones in like the regular side table category were a little bit bulky, and I felt like it would block that side of the bed, so I ended up going into the most miscellaneous surface category, and that's like the best place to go. It has so many good tables, and they're like hidden in this miscellaneous category, so I think it's another display table that came with Get to Work. At least it came with Get to Work. I'm not sure if it's actually for display, but it has like a glass top, so it looks really modern and it's really pretty, so that's what I end up going with, and I think it looks really nice in the end. And then I get like a radio and some books or something on there. But this is the table, so it's really nice. I've used it before, but I forget about it, and I feel like a lot of the tables that are in that category get forgotten because they're hidden away. Yeah, I think it all works out, and it looks really nice at the end. We got a plant on the side table, and then I remembered to go put the umbrella rack over by the front door because I've been trying to remember that ever since we got seasons. That way, if you download a build and you have seasons, you can go over there and choose an umbrella for your Sims pretty easily. So this is going to be the toddler toddler's bedroom, which I think turns out really nice. So I got the pink one and the green one because we do have a boy and girl toddler, so I kind of wanted to make it a little bit obvious which sim would be for which bed, but of course it doesn't really matter. But I thought that would be kind of nice. And then I had forgotten about toddler potties, so I ended up putting them in the bedroom. Now that's not really where I want to put toddler potties because I would prefer to have them in the bathroom with the regular toilets, but oh well, it's not real life, because I think in real life you probably wouldn't want them in your bedrooms, but oh well. It's The Sims, so I gave them these cute little monster potties, which I thought were just adorable. And then other than that, I think I add a couple of, yeah, these little bear chairs, which I just adore. I think they're super adorable. And then just a plain cream rug, because I was having a little bit trouble adding other types of rugs because there was so much colors and pattern, I think, in this bedroom, that I wasn't really sure if I should have like a rug with a lot of pattern. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does, but that's what I was thinking anyways. Their bedroom does end up being pretty simple in the end, but I didn't really want to crowd it up with too many toys because it is such a small space. So I do think it turns out really cute. And we are back to the exterior now, so I'm making those changes that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I felt like I really needed the siding to be all blue and cohesive, and then I switched up the fences and removed this one in the front. So I think the changes were all for the better. I think it just kind of opens up the space and makes the screenshots look a little bit better. So I was really happy about that, and really happy with the way this build turned out in general. So hopefully you guys will like it too, and hopefully you guys are looking forward to more renovations. I definitely have a lot more to come. I will be working on some this weekend, which I am very excited about. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!